Step back in time with us, into the heart of a medieval castle, a place where the pulse of daily life beats strongest. The kitchen. Forget the grand halls and towering ramparts for a moment. This is where the magic truly happens, a chaotic, smoky, and utterly vital world of its own. Imagine this, you're standing beneath a high, vaulted stone ceiling, darkened by centuries of smoke. The air is thick with the aromas of roasting meat, baking bread, and simmering herbs. All around you is a symphony of organized chaos. The rhythmic chop, chop, chop of knives on thick wooden tables, the clatter of iron pots, the sizzle of fat dripping into the hearth, and the constant hum of voices. Look over there. That's the head cook, a formidable figure with a booming voice and a keen eye. He's the maestro of this culinary orchestra, pointing a flour-dusted finger, giving sharp instructions to a young servant about the placement of a silver platter destined for the Lord's table. Every detail must be perfect. His authority is absolute, earned through years of experience and countless successful feasts. Let's move closer to the great hearth. It's a cavernous opening, large enough for a person to stand in, with multiple fires blazing. A massive spit, turned by a young boy known as a turnspit, groans under the weight of a whole boar, its skin crackling and turning a perfect golden brown. Beside it, huge iron cauldrons bubble with thick, hearty stews, sending clouds of steam spiraling towards the rafters. The heat is intense, and the cooks working here are slick with sweat, their faces flushed from the constant warmth. Now, pan over to the baker's corner. The air here is sweeter, filled with the comforting smell of yeast and warm grain. A team of bakers, their arms dusted white to the elbows, work with practiced speed. One kneads a mountain of dough on a floured surface, his movements strong and rhythmic. Another uses a long wooden paddle, a peel, to pull perfectly browned loaves of bread from the glowing maw of a brick oven. These aren't your soft, fluffy loaves. This is hearty, dense bread, the staple of every meal from the lowest servant to the Lord himself. In another corner you'll find the scullions, the unsung heroes of the kitchen. These are often young boys and girls, tasked with the endless, grueling work of cleaning. They scrub mountains of greasy pots, pans, and wooden trenchers in large tubs of murky water. It's tough, thankless work, but absolutely essential to keep this entire operation running smoothly. Their hands are chapped and red, but they work with a determined energy, gossiping and joking amongst themselves to pass the time. Take a look at the details all around you. Bundles of dried herbs, rosemary, thyme, sage, hang from the wooden beams, their fragrant oils scenting the air. Shelves are laden with rustic earthenware jugs, wooden bowls, and pewter plates. Tools are simple but effective. Heavy iron knives, stone mortars and pestles for grinding spices, and long-handled ladles for stirring the bubbling cauldrons. Notice the clothing. Everyone wears practical, durable garments made of coarse wool and linen. Smudged aprons are tied over simple tunics, and leather belts hold knives and pouches. These aren't the fine silks and velvets of the nobility. This is the uniform of hard labor, designed for function, not fashion. As we move through the kitchen, we see the different stages of food preparation. A group of women sit on low stools, carefully plucking feathers from geese and chickens. At another table, vegetables fresh from the castle gardens, onions, carrots, leeks, and cabbages are being chopped and prepared. Elsewhere, a young apprentice is painstakingly grinding almonds into a fine paste, a key ingredient for many of the elaborate sauces and sweet dishes favored by the nobility. Servants are constantly rushing in and out, a river of motion. They carry trays laden with food up to the great hall, navigating the crowded space with practiced ease. Others bring in fresh supplies, baskets of eggs, wheels of cheese, barrels of ale, and sacks of flour. The kitchen is a central hub, connected to every part of the castle, from the storerooms below to the Lord's private chambers above. Think about the scale of it all. This isn't just cooking for a family, it's catering for an entire community. A large castle could house hundreds of people, including the Lord's family, knights, retainers, guests, and a vast staff. On feast days, the numbers would swell even more. The kitchen had to produce hundreds, sometimes thousands of meals every single day. This required immense organization, skill, and an almost military level of precision. The food itself tells a story. The variety and richness depended on the season and the status of the diners. While the lower staff might eat pottage, a thick vegetable stew, and dark bread, the high table in the great hall would groan under the weight of roasted game, elaborate meat pies shaped like animals, and delicate sweets flavored with expensive imported spices like cinnamon, cloves, and pepper. These spices were a symbol of wealth and power, a way for the lord to display his status to his guests. As the day winds down and the evening feast is served, the frantic pace in the kitchen begins to slow. The fires burn lower, the chopping ceases, and the shouts of the head cook soften. The staff finally gets a chance to eat their own meal, gathering around the tables to share leftover scraps and a well-deserved cup of ale. They are exhausted, but there's a sense of pride in their work. They are the engine that powers the castle, the creators of the feasts that define its social life. This glimpse into a medieval kitchen reveals a world of incredible hard work, skill, and community. It was a place of intense sensory experience. Hot, loud, smoky, and fragrant. It reminds us that behind the grand narratives of kings and knights, there were armies of ordinary people whose daily labor made that world possible. It was here, in the heart of the castle, that the raw ingredients of the land were transformed into the substance of life itself. Thank you for joining us on this journey back in time. We hope you enjoyed this look into the bustling world of a medieval kitchen. If you found this fascinating, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into history. Let us know in the comments what part of medieval life you'd like to explore next. See you in the next one.